Hi everyone, I'm Lisa. I'm eager to share with you my romantic story with some criminal elements. As I remember, I have always been a little naive and quick to fall in love. I have always dreamed of big and pure love, like in fairy tales. My first love affair happened in the kindergarten. I don't remember his name. We were going to get married during nap time, but his mother picked up my fiancé right after lunch. He was taken away from the altar, and the next day he was going to marry another girl. It taught me that you should fight for your love. I met Liam at the school sports competitions in our area. Like me, he was also a freshman, but in a neighboring high school. During the race, I tripped over a stone and fell down right at the finish line. I should have been the first to finish. Liam was running right behind me. He saw me, stopped, gave me a hand, and helped me cross the finish line. This way, I took first place, and he was second in the mile run. I was impressed by Liam's generosity. For me, he instantly became a strong and brave prince. I didn't even feel pain from my broken knee. All I could see was him among the crowd. Of course, just like in fairy tales, Liam helped me get to the first aid station, waited for me, and then helped me to get home. The next day, he bought me flowers and ice cream. He asked about my health. He said that soon I'd get totally healed and could run faster than before. I was damn touched by his attention and care for me. We started dating. I was proud of my boyfriend, and I told everyone our romantic story. I was absolutely happy with Liam. Every day he tried to surprise me. He made me incredible surprises and generous gifts. He was just any girl's dream. We never fought. On the contrary, it seemed like we were simply made for each other, and Liam was a part of me, just like I was his. Even our friends told us we were a perfect match. My parents were a little worried that my boyfriend was giving me so many gifts. Sometimes they were quite expensive. For example, a smartwatch and a gold pendant. Where does a student get so much money, my parents asked. I replied that he was from a rich family, and his father was giving him pocket money without counting. After 5 months of our relationship, one day my mother called me all worried and told me to come home immediately. We needed to talk about something. When I got home, my parents were sitting at the table with pale faces. In front of them were all the gifts I got from Liam. To my silent question, they answered that my mom had a call from my sweetheart's mother. She said he was stealing money from his father. Presumably, he was spending it on his girlfriend, that is, on me. Recently, they had lost a large sum of money. They intended to spend it on a wheelchair for Liam's grandmother. My parents also informed me that Liam's father wasn't a successful businessman. He was a simple welder, and his mother was a tailor. I was totally stunned. It was hard for me to believe that my perfect boyfriend was a thief who had been lying to me all this time, telling me about his millionaire dad and money bags. That very evening, my parents handed over all the gifts to Liam's mother. I didn't like the idea of separating with them, although they weren't the reason why I dated the guy. Each gift simply meant something to me and was valuable in its own way. Liam didn't call me for a few days. I also did not try to contact him. Then we met by chance in a store, and he asked me to let him explain everything. I still loved him, of course. I agreed to talk. He said he was very sorry that I had to return all the gifts. He regretted that he had to lie to me, but he was sure that a girl like me wouldn't date a simple guy from a working-class family. So he decided to steal from his parents to impress me. He asked me to forgive him. He said he loved me and didn't want to lose me. I forgave him because I also loved him and didn't want to break up with him. We continued dating, but this time we were hiding it from our parents. We no longer went to expensive cafes. From time to time, he gave me some modest gifts and took me to the movie theaters, like a typical teenager. But I was okay with that. I was just happy to be with him. A month later, I went to my friend's birthday. Liam couldn't go with me. There, I met his ex-friend, Ben. I didn't know why they'd stopped talking. Anyway, I always kept out of my boyfriend's affairs. I thought they'd probably had a fight. Such things happen between the boys. However, Ben wanted to talk to me. He said he had something important to tell me. I agreed to listen to him. He said that the day I met Liam, I didn't fall by accident. Everything had been thoroughly planned. Liam had laid eyes on me for a very long time. Before the race, he asked Ben to throw a stone under my feet when I'd be at the finish line. I'd fall, and Liam would help me get up and cross the finish line. Yes, he knew that either me or he would get to the finish line first. It was easy to predict, and he started to study me a few months before that. My habits, my abilities, my hobbies. Ben also said that today Liam didn't come with me, not because he was helping his father, but because he made an agreement with guys. When I'd be coming back home, they would fake an attack on me. Liam would show up and become my savior, and I would be impressed by my hero again. It was hard to believe, but the facts were true. Liam did ask me to call him when I'd be leaving my friend's house, and did ask me which way I would go home. And on the day when I fell, just before the finish line, the track was checked for foreign objects. That stone had appeared there just out of nowhere. I decided that Liam couldn't do this. Perhaps Ben just wanted to take revenge on him for something. After this conversation, I wanted to leave. I called my boyfriend and said I was going out. On my way home, 3 guys actually came up to me in a dark alley and demanded that I give them my money and phone. I froze because I wasn't sure whether these were real muggers or Liam's friends. And then my sweetheart turned up. He took a ludicrous swipe at one of the trinity, but the guy hurried to run away with the others. I realized that Ben had told me the truth, and I'd been set up by Liam. It's not for nothing that they say that love and hate are just one step apart. In a blink of an eye, my love was replaced by disgust. Liam was wondering why, instead of being thankful, I was silently walking toward the house. He was walking alongside and saying, "You must be shocked. It's over. I'm here. Everything is fine." These words were making me even more sick. At home, I told everything to my parents. We decided to file a complaint with the police as my boyfriend basically organized an attack on me, and it's a crime. Fortunately, after the trial, Liam and his family left for another city, and I heard nothing about him anymore. I still don't understand what was in my ex-boyfriend's mind and what he wanted to achieve. But I know one thing for sure. Next time, I'll be more careful when I choose my prince. Perhaps you have some suggestions. Why did Liam set up such situations? Share your answers in the comments.